Juliaetta City Council meeting now called to order. Time is 7 o'clock on August 12th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have a fair amount of minutes to approve, and then the bills. Has everybody read what do we have? 4?
So,
Looks look good to me.
So I want to make a motion.
Move to accept the minutes of July 8th, July 10, July 23rd, and August 4th.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Motion passes. Does anybody have any questions on the bills?
I have questions. Pause. So, for your billing, did you have a new prosecution case? Or what is this, Enrique?
I think that's an
Oh,
existing one.
Yeah, that's an existing one.
Okay, so it's like just not in the bill kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that for the dog or?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any other updates on bills from Todd we need? Or I think it's been quiet for a month.
Yeah, we
want a long dry spell,
I have no other questions about the bills.
Any question?
Move to accept the bills.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay. Library, go ahead, Mr. Wayne.
Thank you. I'm Wayne Schmidt, Arlington Library trustee. And we're here to request of the release of the funds that were collected for the construction of the library. That's,
Yeah, so I do want to apologize. There was a clerical error. We thought that the council had approved to give you guys the check months ago, and it's been quite a few months ago. We found a clerical error, so we are getting ready we'll cut the check tonight or tomorrow, and then, I guess I should ask the treasurer. Are we gonna be able to cut that to tomorrow, for tomorrow's bills to be signed? Well, it will be soon.
It'll be within a couple days. I just have to transfer the funds.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, and we apologize and thank you for bringing it back to our attention.
oh, you're welcome. Just a quick update. We're still scheduled for a September 30th opening date.
Yeah.
So we're in the steady, the drywallers have come in, electricians, and redid some of the bathrooms and all of that. And we have a grant from the State Library Association to help with doors, ADA and compliance doors and all of that. So we're there. Some quick questions for you. What would you want to do with the shelving? We would request that we leave them there for you. That if
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want it,
because with the windows shape and everything else, there's nowhere to attach them to. And so we really don't need those shelves and would need a different configuration. Second thing is that table that's there. We would also like to just leave it for you. Be extremely difficult to move and all of that. Yeah, so it's there. We're working on a naming issue. And so if you have input about what to call it.
Juliaetta Community Library.
He has it anyway.
Why do people say that? Maybe we come up with a different kind of name than that, yes.
I have an idea for naming it after George Brocky Jr. because he was kind of the patron saint of Kendrick for a very long time.
Okay,
That's just my thought. I think he would definitely be someone to look at naming it after.
I'll send that in.
Okay.
We're probably gonna have some kind of, people be able to vote on the different names that are suggested. I mean, there's everything from Valley Ridge to being it's in the valley and it's on the ridge, kind of situation. We said everything else is named Juliaetta Kendrick. Maybe something a little different than that, but we're open to a lot of different suggestions there. And so we're looking forward to having a grand opening and all those kinds of things.
Good. Yeah, I would think as far as everything that's in there that you don't want, we'll figure out after
Okay,
you're gone.
we appreciate that
Mm-hmm.
very much.
Hey,
Cool.
Sean.
Questions for us?
No, well, not for you necessarily. Since it was before my time, do you know how much the fund is, the check?
It was in December of 20,
22,000?
yeah, it's around 22,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the money came from, there was 14,000 donated when the city sold the park to the winery, and then the community library project raised a whole bunch of money for the library. So it's in the December minutes.
I think
Yeah.
so. And then on-
Amanda, just for your information, we tried for almost 20 years to find the different locations.
Mhm.
Oh, I,
Oh, yeah,
yes,
we
I know,
tried
I
so
know.
We're
hard.
working at that hard.
Yeah.
Long before I joined the board.
Mhm.
I've been on a little over 2 years, and we kept trying to negotiate a variety of things there. I've met with several landlords here in the area to see if somebody had something that would work for us, and couldn't come up with anything that was there. So when the bank building came
Yeah.
available, that,
Beautiful building.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a good life.
And it is a beautiful building and it's a good home. I hate to see it leave, but I'd also like to take a moment and recognize, Dana and Polly Taylor and the mayor and his wife and Cynthia and, Jan Wells and everyone who did put everything they had into that for years and years, and you guys for sure.
Yeah, so we hopefully won't have a fire because we have a fire plan that we evacuated that library when the fire got close. That,
Oh, yeah.
we came in late in, the day and the next day and we're evacuating all the critical stuff. So we have a new fire plan, but hopefully we won't have to implement that.
Are you finding as you're remodeling that it is a really ideal building, like the inside, it's working out really well? Okay.
We're reconfiguring it slightly where some of the walls so that it's wheelchair accessible and all of that
Right.
kinds of situations. Bathrooms weren't, so we had to redo the bathrooms. There was, in the back, there was a wall ladder getting up into the attic area and some of that. We're putting a stairway in back there and then redoing some of the hot water heater, those kinds of things. And then we'll have a conference room in there for community use. We're working on it. We're also working on our strategic plan. So we've held meeting, our last meeting was last night in Viola. So we've held everything from Princeton to Moscow to here, and Kendrick and elsewhere, getting input about what should we be doing, what are we missing, how do we better serve these communities. So we're very, very dedicated to keeping all of the libraries open. Because when I was running, I had somebody running against me that wanted to cut budgets and cut libraries. I was like, no, we're not headed for that at all.
Yeah.
That's for the city to do.
And then we're in fine fiscal shape. We don't see any reason to raise levies or do anything else that
Nice.
sort. So we're being a very, very careful board in managing the finances.
Good.
So again, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Wayne.
Thank you.
I don't, you too.
I'll head home for dinner.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
Was Joe Noble's actually gonna come and talk?
No, he messaged me, but he reached out to me again. He reached out to me and he was pretty upset. And I figured, Mayor, if you don't mind, rather than having a Hatfield and McCoy situation, I was just gonna read some ordinances and we can get an update from our attorney since he's here and just let everyone know that there are options because this has really become boiling over.
So, and also I did want to make note that I did reach out to Sheriff Skiles. He was
Okay.
out of the office today because from what I've understood is there's certain, and Todd, maybe you can enlighten a little bit. There's certain ordinances that if it's going to require funds from the city, that they have to have the approval of the mayor. So I'm wondering if there's a way, and that's what I was going to ask Sheriff Skiles about, is if because we know we have certain ordinances that we want to take care of it. So is there a way to make a contract with the county that says if it's one of these ordinances that the council approves, that it's automatically? Because I don't know how do they call me? I don't know how that works, because we want to make sure that we're getting this taken care of for our citizens.
Well, yeah, whenever the city asks them to enforce an ordinance, they should enforce it. It's pretty simple. They have called me in the past on a couple of, and I've said, yeah, you write the ticket. I'm not sure where the breakdown is at the moment. It's something that the city has passed an ordinance. The county has the law enforcement authority for this area, including the city, and to enforce the city ordinances, because we did not for a city police, which was probably wise, although there's questions because of how often we actually see law enforcement here. You know, whether we're actually getting what we should be getting is the
Right.
question. But I've been a little bit baffled, because when they called me asking if they should enforce it, it was kind of the no-brainer of, well, yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe you and I, you can call the sheriff, you and I call the sheriff, doesn't matter, but I don't understand where the reticence or the hesitation is. They know very well that I prosecute, you guys get my bill.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in court many times. It's not, I just don't understand where the confusion is.
Well, Todd, if I may, I believe it has to do it goes from officer to officer, because we've had deputies in here that are like gung ho. And then we've had deputies that residents have talked to and they're like, yeah, maybe, maybe not. And it's like, no, you're supposed to enforce them. So
Mhm.
I think the mayor is, reaching out to them, probably even with you, I think that is a huge step. And I also think making our residents more aware of the ordinances that they need helps them recite it, or at least communicate to the officers as well.
Sure. The more information we can provide an officer, worst case scenario, then the officer writes a report that we can follow up on at a later date and
Right.
perhaps make our own charging decision on. But it seems to me that the mayor, call the sheriff. If that doesn't work, maybe a joint meeting with the sheriff instead of just a phone call, and if we need to give a letter of instructions or something. But it's got to get through there. It can't be officer specific.
Right.
The
Right.
law is the law, and if we are not going to enforce it consistently, then it really becomes a problem.
Mhm.
As you guys know, and we've seen in the past, if we're not going to consistently push on it and try to get things done equally to all people, everybody's to be equally under the law, both protected and condemned when they're in the wrong. So
That's music to my ears. I love that.
Mhm.
Do you mind if I read the ordinances for the public?
Go ahead.
This is 6.04.010 barking dogs. It is unlawful for any person to keep, harbor, or maintain a dog which barks in such a manner as to disturb the peace, quiet, or slumber of any other person or neighborhood in the city. And then I'll read the dogs at large, because this was all part of the issue. And this is 6.04.030. It is unlawful for any person to cause, permit, or allow dog or dogs owned, harbored, or controlled, or kept by him or her to roam, run, or stray away from the premises in which the dog or dogs are owned. And I'll leave it there. There's more, but I just want the residents to understand, the ones who talk to me, that there are laws, and we have a mayor who's committed and actually taking action to have them enforced. And we have an attorney, you just heard from him, he wants it consistent. So that, I'm happy.
now I will add one part to it. The officer has to investigate and be able to find sufficient basis
Sure.
to enforce it. The dog barks and you call the next day, the
Right.
officer's not going to write a ticket.
Sure.
Right.
So
Very fair.
If I could add to that, I've seen comments on Facebook where maybe they've called once, they didn't get a response. So then the next time they're like, oh, they don't do anything, the city's not doing anything. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you have to call. We can't do anything if you guys are not calling and at least making the complaint, even if they don't come down because they're busy, it's on record that there was a complaint.
Mhm.
And so and for anybody that is having an issue with dogs or whatever, is you have to call and make a complaint.
and to elaborate on that just a little bit, a dog complaint is fairly low on the police officer's radar.
Yeah,
And we're fairly far away from the police officer's home base. And so a dog complaint's not going to get somebody dispatched from Moscow to here to come address it. If they're not in the area, they may get to it sooner or later, but it may also just drop. So it has to be that consistency because this is not, I mean, if an assault will get somebody dispatched,
Right.
a murder will get somebody dispatched, a barking dog and a dog at large will not.
Yeah.
And so it has to be something, I know those are nuisances, I know they are problems, but that's one of the issues of not having our own police force is we have to work with the force that we do have, which is our sheriff's office. And we appreciate what they do. We just have to be able to work with them and remember the scope that we're dealing with.
And we also did work into our budget, which we need to, I don't know if it's a contract that you would want to look over, I assume so, to try and increase the hours that Latah County is down here. I think is it 20 hours?
Yeah, I think so.
20 extra hours a month.
And in any contract, I would like to review it.
Yep. We will make sure that as we move forward, we make sure that gets into your hands. Hopefully that will help having them down here more with some of the other, the barking dogs and some of the nuisance with some of the young kids that are out playing at 1 a.m. Yeah.
And reviewing contracts usually does not take a long time.
Mayor, if I can add to respond to Todd real fast, our attorneys, that's absolutely true. And the deputies have been pretty clear about that, about, priorities. And there needs to be evidence and there needs to be consistency. I would also add to that, though, our residents have been pretty dang patient, all in all, with this dog issue. So I don't feel bad about asking the mayor and the attorney to get more involved for these really cases where it's out of control.
And I think one thing that can help with that, if we are getting the reports filed consistently, we can ask that the sheriff forward some of those reports to me, and I can start trying to make some charging decisions based on those.
Okay.
And I'll try to work with the sheriff on that because there may be some opportunities to do it without having to have the officer run down so many times. There may be some ways to structure it because one thing I have learned over the last several months is that there are a few dogs that most people in town know because they are all over the town. And most people know whose dog it is, and they can identify it, with sufficient detail that there may be a way to address this without having to have the officer see the dog roaming. And so I'm more than willing to work with the sheriff's office to see if there's some options to address it, because the people deserve to have, we're working on a lot of other nuisances.
Yeah.
We're trying to address them. And it's I think we're starting to make some difference, and I'd like to keep seeing a difference made for you.
I think that's great. I appreciate this. This was good. I think Joe will appreciate it.
and my neighbors aren't moving, so those roaming dogs should hopefully disappear.
Okay. So BJ Watkins, he did call and change his mind because the property he was looking at sold. So we'll move on to number 7, which is Mark, the request for a manufactured home special use permit.
So I'm gonna go around this way. Hey, Jim Shine, put me on the agenda. Just kind of show you guys. This is a 1976. It's HUD approved, remodeled. It's older. It's actually in really good shape. I grew up in mobile homes, so you've seen it. So I'll come up here. My intent here is to destroy my current residence and have it moved out with Eddie Gross Close, who does a great job of it, and purchase one from Steve Richling. I'm actually also waiting on bank final approval, but I wanted to go through this process first so I can get the ball rolling. It does meet all of our, ordinances and so forth, but one of the ordinances I have to ask the council, so I'm gonna recuse myself from this vote one time. Anyway, it's very nice. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, but I'm afraid that we'll have to wait till the special meeting with Jeff because with you recused, we don't have an actual quorum because I don't count as a quorum.
Can I get back to you?
So, yeah, I was thinking about this and yeah, I think we're kind of we'll have to wait till the special, we can put it on for our budget hearing
When is that again?
the 27th.
Okay,
Or if you want, I mean, we can look at maybe calling a special meeting, because I know you're kind of, but we have to wait for Jeff to get back, so we have a
Oh,
quorum, so we
you know, I
can't
didn't-
actually make a
that's why you're the mayor. I didn't think of that.
full decision, we can't actually make a decision.
I don't mind Steve's gonna lay an egg. He's not gonna be happy about that, but, cause he's a salesman, but
Right,
I will talk to him about that. I would hate to call a special meeting. If I do call one, I'm desperate, basically, but yeah, but I understand that, so.
so we'll put you for sure on the 27th, and if it comes into an issue, just let me know. We'll
Okay.
we'll
I
work something
appreciate
out.
it.
Yep. So something you need to find out from Steve, because we went through this before, to make sure the wiring is upgraded. There should be an order, like it can't have the old aluminum wiring.
So HUD approved means that it has, or that was the year it started at 76, so HUD approved is copper wire. It's, the plumbing is correct, and it has
Okay.
to go through an inspection with the county.
Okay,
And I think this is an important subject, a great point, because I think manufactured homes and particularly single wides are really a solution for single family, housing in Julietta. Like, all of us know people who have or currently selling homes that their kids could never afford, so. Anyway, that's a great point, but it does have to go through the inspection. I can get more information on that, but it does have the HUD sticker on it and so forth and everything, so. But I will pass it on to him, and, one thing that I think Justin and Cheyenne suggested, maybe having the county look at it first. I don't know that that's necessary since it is HUD approved, and I don't technically own it yet, so. But anyway, like I said, if I'll try not to, I'm gonna tell Steve it's the 27th. He is a little bit of a hurry, but, so, any other questions or,
do you have any interior photos? Just because I'm curious.
of the trailer even?
Yeah, I don't want to see any, yeah. Let's make sure that's very clear.
So let me find some good ones. Do you want the inside or outside?
I just want to look at just one quick picture of the inside,
Okay,
just more curious.
don't bite it out from under me. It's actually pretty nice. Let me get the living room. Okay, so that's the living room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's remodeled. Steve is one of the best actual remodelers of these things. He knows them inside and out, so it's really nice. I was gonna say something about it. As far as my property, my trailer's livable, but this is a significant upgrade. It'll look better. It'll match the decor of the neighborhood, so there isn't any concern. That's in the ordinance of bringing the value down. It's the opposite of that. No, it is older, but like I said, HUD approved and on up. And I would, as a council member, I'll never vote for a non-HUD approved. They're very dangerous, but, so. Any other questions? Or-
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So it's an action item. Do we need to table it or?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and table it till the special meeting.
I make a motion to table Mark's request until the special meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Motion passes.
Wait,
Well, how can it? We don't have a quorum.
but can't you?
But you can vote on this to move it, because it's not, right? He can vote on this?
Here's a question I have, Todd. Under
Well,
the,
Go ahead.
well, isn't he technically a council member also?
No.
Okay.
No,
I thought that was in the statute.
I only break tie votes.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What is it?
I-
Two.
I would like to add something.
You could just move it for one of quorum, because then you didn't have to have motion.
Okay, so we'll just move to the 8:27 due to lack of quorum.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Justin, did you have some?
I just wanted to say that, this other lot over here is pending sale. And they're limited on what they can build because it's in the floodplain. So your lot is in the floodplain. But a trailer is okay because it's not a permanent structure.
Yes, and
So,
also,
and there's another trailer over here.
Okay.
That's sitting there, and it's, a trailer is not considered a permanent.
right.
Yeah.
But also, I'm 4 feet up. I'm 4 feet up.
So
Off the
you're
ground.
actually
Yeah, I'm off
in the
because
floodplain.
I'm off the floodplain because I had to raise my ground 4 feet up to build the pole barn. And this is higher than that. So, but that's true. That's very true. So
Okay, I just want to say
that's a
that
good point.
it's
Yeah.
kind of temporary. That would qualify. as,
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. That's a good point though.
Okay, I'm assuming the execution of the USDA waterway system grant agreement exists. So can you enlighten me, because I'm drawing a blank?
Well, this is what we've been searching for that
Oh.
already was executed. Amanda's wife will just reached out and said she had taken
Gotcha.
over the file and couldn't find an executed copy. And we might still have it in the email somewhere. We haven't located it yet, but just in case, she asked if we could put it on for tonight, just for council to essentially reapprove signing it, if need be.
Unfortunately, it's not an action item, though. I missed that when you sent it to me.
Well, shoot.
So what happened is one of these was signed and then by the former mayor, and when it got sent into Stillman, or we're not sure where it got sent, but it got
Well,
misplaced.
I'm not sure that's the exact same document that I sent, but
Ah,
that's the problem. is
Yep.
I was.
and if anybody wants to look at it.
So Mayor, you need that back on an agenda to sign it? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need a
I would
special meeting?
recommend a special meeting. I'm available.
Now he's available for all meetings.
Do we have a time frame on when that needs to be done?
No, I don't think so. She's just been working through the file to make sure everything's in place since we're releasing funds and.
Yep, I apologize when you sent me that. I
That's okay.
didn't catch that. So we'll tack that on to
Okay.
827 as well. Okay, so the next one, we went to do some stuff with the P1FCU accounts, and they said that they needed minutes again about the removal of all previous employees, Bonnie Wismore, Wendy Sandino, and actually Cindy Breckenridge and the former mayor Richard Grosclose need to be removed from those at P1FCU, LCCU, and Latah Credit Union so that we can add um, myself and Cheyenne's name to these accounts, because right now they're kind of locked up. We can't really do anything with them until we get the previous ones removed. So some of these did get removed, but some of them also didn't. So we just want to make sure and Melva Eichner, if she's on it, even just make sure we're got everybody's name in the minutes that they're removed so that we can get the things added so we can keep track of what's going on with our CDs and all of our funds. So that's what that's about. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Do we need a motion for that?
Yep.
A motion to change these bank accounts, removal of the previous employees, so we can add all applicable, which would just be you and Cheyenne, right? The mayor
Yeah, at
and
this
Cheyenne?
point, yeah.
Okay.
A second.
Okay, all in favor? Motion passes. Okay, so I did ask Cheyenne to put this on here. We did talk about having an accountant come in once a month or so, just to kind of make sure all of our taxes and stuff are being paid. This guy had showed some interest. He's a local, and I think there was another one that might be interested. Correct, Clifford? So we just wanted to talk about, because we were looking at doing this for our next fiscal year, but we wanted to kind of get the process started of what people thought, like how we should go about it or how we need to go about it. And so that come October, we're ready to roll and get it kind of going. So we're making sure that all of our taxes are being paid correctly and just kind of helping Cheyenne that one day a month here and there, just to kind of, as we get through some of the other stuff with Cassell taking over reconciling the books, and then the new payment management systems that we're going to get, and just to make sure that all of the tax and everything is correct.
Did you talk to him, Mayor?
I did not talk to him. Justin did talk to him. So if it's somebody that we want to, like, if we want to like set up a time when whoever's interested, like if we want to advertise or how we want to do it, they can drop off a resume and then come in and talk to probably be Justin and Cheyenne and myself.
Well, I think it's a great idea. Whoever you think, I think it's a great idea.
So we just need to figure out the process.
I just had a question. So
Yes.
this would be in addition to having Cassell come
So,
and clean, or?
Well, Cassell's going to make sure all our books are reconciled. The account would make sure, like, especially coming into the end of the calendar year for everybody's W-2s, that all the tax information is correct there, that all of our tax exempt ID number is correct, and that everything is good with taxes that we have to pay and that we're getting exempt on. So that kind of thing, not like reconciling the books. We're still gonna have Cassell do. This is just like, maybe an hour once a month or something, just to come in and make sure everything's everything's
Yeah.
good.
So they're just double checking what's kind of already been, okay.
Just double checking, helping Cheyenne out with some of the accounting stuff, making sure that, we're giving her a little bit of knowledge and helping her out. And I don't think it's gonna be necessarily a permanent thing, moving forward, but we do want to kind of work on it and get it kind of going. So we just need to kind of talk about, what the council feels on the process. And
Is this something you want to do for like a set amount of time at first, or?
well, I would say probably for at least the next year, and then we can, for the next fiscal year, and then we can budget for it and see how it's going after a year.
Okay.
That'll give Cheyenne some time to kind of get some things figured out and make sure that the Cassell stuff everything's going good there and all of the other stuff, and just kind of help make sure that we stay out of jail and
Yeah.
all of our taxes get paid and we get all the tax money that we're owed.
Perfect. Yeah, a lot of times I just run into the problem of I'll think of a question and I don't have anyone to call. So I know Hayden Ross, I've reached out to Bailey with Hayden Ross a couple times and she's been great with answering general questions, but I know it can be a little bit of an awkward situation with them being our auditors as well. So I think they're kind of limited on what they can offer me. In terms of-
I think it's a great idea, because as you learn more, you're gonna think of questions for them, and it's gonna build, and it's affordable.
Shine, did you reached out to Troy, City of Troy? And they have an accountant, is that right?
Yeah, it was the city of Troy.
Was it Troy or no, wasn't Bowville?
No, I think it was Troy.
was Troy.
Yeah, when I was calling about wage information and I was just chatting about budget stuff with some of the clerks and the Troy clerk had said that they've had an accountant handle their budgeting and a lot of their more complicated financial stuff for years.
Did they say how many hours a month?
And I did think to ask, but I can certainly reach back out and kind of get an idea of what that dynamic is like.
It varies, but it's not usually very many.
Right.
Well, and I know that we did add a little money to the accounting part of it for stuff like this.
I think it's a great idea.
Good, they're working part-time, so you don't have to pay pennies on it, so
Mhm.
it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the idea. I don't know, like, until we know how many hours, like, if we need a set.
Well, I think that
Diane, you know.
I think the big thing is if we get through the approval process, like if we approve to hire one, then we can, before we hire them, we'll look at the hours, we'll look at our budget to see what we're budgeted for, and we'll just have to stick within that budget. Yep, so this is just getting the ball rolling so that we can get it going for October, and then like when Cheyenne came in, they'll want to negotiate pay and hours and all that as well. So that'll be
Right.
just part of the process. This is just the first process to be able to start getting it, get an ad, put a list in the paper, get some applicants, set up some interviews, kind of stuff like that.
We good? Make the motion to approve the hiring of an accountant.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, staff reports, Justin.
Joe and I have been working on Cox Spring since last Monday, so we're on our second week. It's always the easiest projects that turn into the biggest nightmare, and all we went up there to do was fix an elbow that was leaking, and it blew apart at the bottom and it blew apart at the top when we turned it on. And so we've been working with that for 2 weeks, and today we finally got both things patched, and hopefully tomorrow we can have it on. I want to thank Idaho Rural Water for bringing down a tanker trailer and hooking on up to service. Maybe I shouldn't say people's names, but hooking the resident up to service, water service, and for free.
That's cool.
So we filled it with our own water from the water plant, hauled it up there. She's got better water pressure than she's And so I also have taken some drinking water up there for her as well. We're hoping to have the line charged tomorrow. So we're a little behind. We still have crosswalks to paint, sidewalks to the curbs to paint, getting ready for school. We've got to get the park ready. We're going to have a park day of just trimming and spraying down there again to try to get ready for the Blackberry Festival. We're debating on whether to fertilize the park again or not. And then also, Joe reached out to the Baseball Association today, and we're having a meeting with them on Wednesday. So Brian Neese and a representative from the school will meet with me, myself, and if Nick can make it.
I'll be here.
On Wednesday to hammer out all the details of who's responsible for what at the park, how much things are being charged and paid, and just get everybody on the same page so that we can then let the council and the citizens know everybody who's responsible for everything.
Yeah, so we're meeting with them just to kind of go over some preliminary stuff, and then we kind of get a draft, and we'll bring it to council to, approve and have everybody, Todd will look over, make sure everything's good, and then that way they're moving forward, we'll know what everybody's responsibility is and how state tournaments work and all the rules and everything that go along with some of that stuff, so that everybody is on the same page and knows exactly what's going on.
You might insist on both groups sending you schedules.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we.
That's a good idea.
given.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a written.
Yep, for
schedule.
sure.
And then the other thing is I had an idea about the project that you guys asked for all the previous mayors on the wall. There's some high school students looking for senior projects, and this director has reached out to me specifically and wants specific projects, and I thought that would be a great project that's not cost prohibitive necessarily, and it might be a fun research project for somebody. They can print out all the photos. They can pay to have them framed or something if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll give her some ideas. I also have the cemetery project. That's a lot bigger project. I don't know yet how that's gonna work, but and then of course there's some other things that the city can, for a senior project, like Megan did the steps, that kind of thing. So anyway, we're busy and that's where I'm at. Oh, and the wastewater project, if you drive down there, it looks like a bomb went off. It's absolutely torn up. Everything is torn up. They hit the fire department's sewer line today, and so they are getting a porta potty for the fire department for a month.
And restitution.
So anyway, if you drive down there, you have to put a hard hat on and a vest, but you're more than welcome to come down and tour the site. It is unbelievable.
Cool.
So, yes.
Anything else? That's it?
Yeah.
Amanda?
I don't have much. I'm glad Todd's here because I was gonna email him and I forgot. Since it's election year and with the Blackberry Festival coming up, I thought, maybe setting up a table for like a meet and greet so people can meet the council members. I'm assuming that we couldn't have more than 2 council members at a time,
That is correct.
right? But we could have 2, and if Nick,
Mhm.
I mean, if you guys wanted to, I just thought I would locate a
In other words, have
candidate,
Nick there the whole time, the other 4 of you can rotate.
rotate.
Well,
Just-
the catch is, I'm on board for that.
Yeah, so
I'm
you're
all
there.
the time, and then he's singing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Performance,
Well, maybe
yeah.
in the morning before you start. I don't know. If not, I can just be there. I thought I would hand out water and I think a lot of times people don't come to the meetings and they don't always know how to contact us. So I just thought, well,
So in other words, you're gonna campaign.
I'm doing a meet and greet.
Mm.
I invited you. Come. See, if I was campaigning, do you think I would?
Convenient, I'm playing.
I did not know that.
So I also know in previous years that they did a big mailer as well. Wendy was a spearhead for the mailer where they did a big mailer with everybody who was running could chip in a couple bucks and have a little
Oh, like a little.
blurb about themselves as well as things that I've seen in the past. But table, I've actually never seen anybody come up with that. So
That's good.
yeah.
That's all I got.
I didn't like the mailing because I was at the bottom.
You had to flip the page.
Yes, literally.
Yeah, I just got a couple quick things. First of all, the Costco membership has been kind of a nightmare. So what happened is part of our being on the council is you get a Costco membership. So a couple treasurers ago, or anyway, when one treasurer took over for the next one, they were put on as the
Primary?
primary. So they're the only ones that can make changes to the account.
Mm.
So we can't put anybody else on there. All we can do is pay the bill, and whoever's on there is who gets it. And so I was thinking about a better way of doing this, and I don't know. I know it's either an ordinance or something, and maybe Todd can help us out on this if this is something that we can decide tonight. We're paying it, and it's $585 for, we have everybody on there, or we don't have everybody on there because Eric's not on there. Cheyenne's not on there, you're not on there, but we do have Justin, Joe, and then we also give one to Frank because he's our backup. So instead of doing the one account, because we would actually have to change the name of it because the account is under City of Julietta, so we would have to go Julietta City in order to reopen the account. And they didn't have our tax exempt ID number anyway, so it's not like we were gaining any benefits. So one of the things that I thought about was having one just for Justin, Joe, and Cheyenne that's has the tax ID benefit number there so that we can get tax exempt on stuff we buy for the park, and then do stipends, yearly stipends for the rest of the council. So like some use the executive card to get cash back, some use or whatever, just so it's fair so that everybody has one and it's easier. So like election year, if somebody doesn't make it, we don't have to go down and try and deal with all this. You just, you get your stipend in February. So I don't know if that's something that, or does it have to be
Take
official?
action, and it's not noted as an action item. You can't do
So-
that tonight.
Okay, let's put that on for
I think it's a good idea.
27.
As long as I can go to Costco.
Yeah, it just makes it a little easier, but I did want to update everybody on what's going on with the Costco membership, because right now you can't use it.
So
So-
no previous Costco memberships have been canceled by anyone,
Correct,
correct?
correct. No previous Costco memberships have been canceled by anyone. Okay,
But if they haven't been paid.
well, were paid up until August. Yep, they were paid up until August 1st. It is when it went, when it expired. And it's a good thing that it expired so that we could kind of figure this
Right,
out, because, we got the bill and we weren't sure. We tried to, put some people's, because Joe's on there, but maybe, I don't know if we have two accounts, because I know that there was a max of a certain amount of people.
Neither am I.
So, I just wanted to update everybody, and I'm glad that Todd was here to make clarification, but we do need to just make sure we put that on for August 27th so we can get the Costco membership taken care of. Also, I'm gonna steal this from Cheyenne and go over this, is the city office candidate filing information. So because we're in a weird year, normally it would just be seat 3 and 4 is up this year, but because of the appointments and everybody leaving, we're up for all 5 spots are open.
So that's confirmed.
Yes, it is
Okay,
confirmed.
okay.
So all 5 spots will be open. So those who are interested in running for office, and I encourage anybody who's interested, even if they want to run against me, they feel that I'm doing a bad job, I please hope that Clifford steps up and takes the charge. So when filling these out, you just have to fill out the office of, and then you have to specify 2-year or 4-year. So seat 3 and 4 are the 4-year seats that are open, and then seat 1 and 2 are the 2-year seats that are open, and then the mayor spot is a 2-year seat that is open as well. So when you pick up these forms from Cheyenne, and I know that you've got yours, I've got mine. Is anybody else?
I don't have one.
Okay. So when you fill them out, just make sure you put the 4-year or the 2-year that you're going for, and fill them out. And then filing begins on August 18th and ends on the 29th. So I don't think you can turn these in before the 18th, and then you can either go up and get 5 signatures, and then you have to go to the county. They verify that they are registered voters. Then you come back and Cheyenne will put her little notary stamp on it, and then you're on the ballot. Or you can pay the $40 office filing fee, and then you don't have to get the 5 registered voter signatures. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this? Okay, there you go, Mark.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, I was just using that as an example. Okay, Mark.
So I'm gonna ask to be put on the agenda as well. for the 27th or sooner, for the discussion about putting cameras on a couple spots on the trail for vehicles, including full-size vehicles.
What?
Yes, at night. And someone told me about it. I've been watching, and it's true. So so I thought maybe, but anyway, I'll discuss that up on the council discussion, get ideas and maybe ideas from their. Yes, sir.
That reminds me, I forgot to mention, I paid a subscription fee for the camera that's on the library.
Okay,
So now it will save the data for 7 days.
okay,
I took upon myself to do that after the last incident with the police. They came here and interviewed Joe and I, and they desperately wanted our data from the camera, and we didn't have a subscription. So it was $46 for a year. I'm trying it out.
cool.
I forgot to let you know, but I think $46 was.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
yeah.
goal.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure.
will have data from the library camera now.
Okay, I think the water plant's a no-brainer. It's an easy one, and then maybe if our, Justin could, and we can talk about another spot, maybe to over by the park or something, just a thought. I'd like to discuss that and actually collect evidence, since that's what the sheriff's department appreciates from us.
The only issue is internet. Is the
Gotcha.
camera has to have internet access. And so,
Do they have it at the water plant?
no,
No?
we have no internet at the water.
We do. At the fire hall.
At the
Yeah, we
fire.
can do
Yeah,
trail
trail
cams.
cams, something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
something we can
So
discuss.
Just FYI.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
They did bring fiber to the water plant to be connected someday, but it's not activated right now.
Okay, well, it's something we could talk about, because I do think we could put this one to rest pretty easy with evidence.
And so why did they used to have those little,
The ball ears, yeah.
yeah. Those all got taken down.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty easy to move around with, like, side by sides and four-wheelers. But
Yeah,
Not the
but not
full
full
size.
size.
not the full size, not the full size, but someone who I don't think they're a resident, but they use our trail a lot, was pushing a stroller and told me about it. Now, she had to literally step off with the stroller into the rocks, and for you mothers out there, what it's like to push a stroller in rocks. And the person who drove by on a side by side or four wheeler didn't even acknowledge that she was even there. I was like, that's it. I'm going to the council with this. So it'd be nice to be. I think it's like a lot of things. One or two times, people will straighten up. So anyway, I'll talk about that then. So that's all I have.
I got nothing.
What?
Todd, you got anything for us?
In executive session.
Okay, Cheyenne?
A clerk's update, next month is clerk's conference down in Boise that I talked with the mayor about, and he would like for me to attend. I would as well. I've heard it's amazing. I did apply for a scholarship through them and we received $300.
Cool.
So that was pretty cool. That's not until the end of September, so I guess we'll be back before then, but that's just going on right now. And then on the treasurer side, the Cassell community portal is in process of being set up. I have a meeting Thursday with them to just go over kind of in-depth tutorial of how to use it, and get any questions answered and all of that. So that's in motion.
So when do we think that will be available to the citizens?
Up and running.
Yeah.
I would think within probably a week or two.
So one of the things that we should probably talk about maybe at our special meeting is, because we toyed around with the idea on the 3%. If we're going to pass it on to the citizens, or if the city is going to absorb that. So I don't know if we want to wait and see how much usage, but that might be something for a discussion item, either at the public hearing or in September, depending on how quickly it becomes live.
Perfect. Do you want it as a discussion or action item? Is it something you think you'd want to vote on?
I don't know. Was there a?
Action? I mean,
I guess it doesn't hurt to put it as an
Yeah.
action item.
because we can always
Hurts
table
more
it.
to
Yep.
not have it on there.
Yeah.
You might
Yeah.
find out what other people are doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just put it as an action item, and then let's reach out to the other rural cities and see what they're doing.
Perfect. That's all I have. Thank you.
Clifford?
I have nothing.
Okay, we'll now open it up for public comment.
I'll beat everybody up here. Okay, so I'm gonna read this because I don't want to stumble over my words. So, I wanted to follow up on a previous inquiry regarding the public accessibility of legal fee expenditures, specifically those funded by city tax dollars. Obviously, transparency in how the public funds are allocated is important to many residents, including myself, and I believe it would be beneficial for our community to have access to this information. While reviewing hearing details related to my own case, I noticed that the same individual involved is currently engaged in legal action involving the city. This observation prompted me to wonder about the cumulative legal cost associated with this individual's cases and how those expenses may impact our city's budget. My intention is not to make any assumptions or accusations, but rather to better understand how public resources are being utilized in legal matters. If there is a process or resources available for residents to review such expenditures, I would greatly appreciate any guidance that you could provide.
So just curious, is there any privacy issues with just posting our payables as we get them?
No,
Could we do that?
you can post the bills. The bills they are public record. If you wanted to request all of the bills, if you want to request just the legal bills, those are public records that you're entitled to.
Nice.
Yeah, can we post just the payables every month on our website?
Just so the clarification, there are attorneys who say that you can't do that with my bill because I put attorney-client privilege information in it. I try to write my statement of the work done broad enough that I'm not disclosing any attorney-client privilege, but still bring in enough information that I address what topic I was working on. So if anybody wants to get that, they're welcome to get them through the public records.
Okay, I was just
And there's
wondering
no
if there
problem
was
posting it.
a place like where, like on the Juliaetta City website or something. Because like you can look up the ordinances through the Juliaetta, if there's like a place where we could go in and just access all the payables and have it broken down, like here's our utilities, here's our taxes. Here's, not break it out like individual payroll, but our payroll was this. And this is our legal fees, and then we can go from that point and look into what it is that we want to see that our money's going to us,
So are you thinking, can you go ahead and come up here, Stephanie? Can you show her the payables?
Yeah.
So is that what you're thinking, Eric, is a
Yeah.
copy of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, just post the
Well,
payable.
and I think what she was just asking is very similar, but because when you guys approve the bills each month,
Yeah,
you're approving payroll as well, right?
payroll's not
Yeah.
on there.
Payroll's not on there, but it's,
Yeah, payroll's not on here.
yeah, that's the only thing that's not on our payables.
Okay.
But,
Well,
yeah.
This would do what she wants.
Yeah.
Now, is she asking to post it or is she asking to have access to it?
No, just put it on the website so that, is that kind of what you were thinking?
Yeah, so that anybody could see it, so that because a lot of people, it being what sometimes we can refer to as Juliet as a bedroom community, a lot of people work outside of the community and they don't always have the ability to come and request those records because they're just not here. I mean, like
Right.
we're gone a lot, you're gone a lot, we're gone sometimes 12 hours for the day, so can't get in here soon enough to go to the office to request those records. And that way people don't have to make a special trip to do that. It's just accessible on the.
And if they
website.
wanted more information, like just so if they saw that our attorney bill was, $20,000, they could inquire specifically about that.
You
Yes.
paid me $20,000.
Using that as an
I'm sure it's a
example.
lot, but I'm not.
Well worth it, Todd, well worth it. So that's something that we can put on for an action item on the 27th, because that'll be something that has to be approved in a regular meeting.
Or sooner?
Any more public comment? Okay, we will now close public comment. Somebody want to make a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion, go into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-206-1A.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Second, roll call vote. Amanda?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Eric?
Yep.
Motion passes. So now we would probably stop.
Yep.
Streaming. Yes, right? What does that say?
You'll not be able to reconnect your